Guys, I'm going to record today's lesson. So, because well, let's try a different way than that. So our state standards and our objectives. Here we go. All right. So I got a question. Zach, quiet. 3 squared. All right. So 3 squared means 3 times 3. So 9. Okay, that was easy. And then -3 to the -3 to the 5th would mean -3 times -3 times -3 times -3. Okay, I got a question. How many negatives do we have?
5.
So that's odd, right? So our answer is negative. Go to your calculator and take 3 to the 5th power. So if you have a cheapo blue, you can't do it any other way other than going 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's why I recommend you have a scientific calculator.
Is this a scientific calculator?
Yes.
Will you tell me how to do it?
So 3 to the 5th would be... So on my calculator, mine's this right here. I think mine's open. Okay, so right here, this is how I do 3 to the 5th. Follow my cursor, guys. 3. This is my raised to the 5th power.
It's -3 though.
Oh, so I need to go in parentheses -3.
That is a lot of work.
Raised to the 5th power. So that's why it's -243. Okay? Now look at this one. -2 to the 4th. Which means... Yeah, because good. Because that means what, guys? -2 times -2 times -2 times -2. And that, since that's an even amount of negatives, it's a positive 2 to the 4th. Yeah. Now, yeah, let me restate that. If it's an odd amount, it's negative. If it's an even amount, it's positive. Look at the calculator, though. Look at this, guys. Maybe. Okay, look at this. If I did this, -2 to the 4th, it tells me it's -16. But if I do -2 in parentheses raised to the 4th, it's positive 16. So my question is what? Why is this one not giving me the correct... This is the correct answer, positive 16. Hunter, why is this not correct?
Because you're only multiplying the 2, not the negative.
So this means 2 to the 4th, then make it negative. If you want the negative raised to the exponent, it needs to be part of the parentheses. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Good. Continuing on. So now what? 4 raised to a -2. I know some of you have already done it, maybe before. When you have a negative exponent, would you all agree that's a negative exponent?
Yeah.
That's the same thing as 1/4 raised to a positive exponent. And we know 4 squared is 4 times 4, so our answer is 1/16. Here we go. Let's look at the next one. Quiet yet. When I have x raised to a negative exponent, that's the same thing as 1/x raised to a positive 2. Done. Go to the next one. I got a rule coming for you. Okay? That exponent's fine, but this y is raised to a negative. I'm going to rewrite it as x raised to the 3rd over y raised to a positive 2. And then here's what we call it. When you have negative exponents, change bunks. This is what this means. And here we go. Let's go back and... Who had a bunk bed? You can throw it away. Who had a bunk bed as a child? Raise your hand. Okay, now I have a question. Who was in the top bunk? Raise your hand.
Ooh, okay.
Who was the bottom bunk? Raise your hand. Okay, now my question is this. If you were in the top, were you happy being in the top? So some of you were yes and some of you were no. If you were in the bottom, were you happy being in the bottom?
Yes.
Was anybody no, I wanted to be in the top? You did, Lexi. So that's the rule with exponents. Ready? So hold on. Ready? So we're going to treat negative exponents as somebody that's unhappy in the bunk that they've been placed in. So C is unhappy. C is a negative exponent. We want everybody to be happy. So we're going to make C happy. C, we're going to put you in the bottom and make you a happy 5. And now you're done.
Wow.
That's what we mean by change bunks.
That's all you have to do.
Yep, so let's look at this one. Look, Z's unhappy and Q's unhappy. Let's make Z happy. Where does Z go?
The bottom.
And it becomes Z to the happy 5. And we mean happy by positive. Q's unhappy in the bottom. Let's put Q in the top and make Q a happy 3.
Watch, it's gonna get real hard.
I know.
Okay.
Number 4 is confusing.
Are we all okay?
Oh,
Here we go. X and Y are... Oh, man, that's so... I feel so bad for them. They're both unhappy. Y cubed over X squared. Zach, be quiet. Zach, shut your mouth. Face forward. Charlie, you quit listening to him. Next problem. Now, here's a rule. Ready? See how everything is raised to a -1. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to flip it. So right now, go parentheses and flip 2/5 and make it 5/2. Guess what? 5/2 is now raised to a happy 1. That's, well, what's 5 raised to the first power? 5. What's 2 raised to the first power? That's it. So everybody look at me. When you have everything raised to a negative, just think this. Look at me. Just flip it. Just flip it. Okay? All right, next problem. So now we got to be careful here. That, look up on the screen now. That negative is not an exponent.
wait, what?
That's a coefficient. That's not an exponent. So we don't flip it. This simply means -5 cubed, which is -5 times -5 times -5, which would be -125.
I thought we don't like negative.
Done. No, we don't like negative exponents. I already went.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not an exponent. That's a coefficient.
Alright, I get
Now, that is an exponent.
it. Yeah.
So how could I rewrite 5 raised to -2?
Would it be 1 over 5?
1 over 5 raised to a
And then
+2. And then, guys, what is 5 squared? So 1 over 25.
Wait, so how come you want to just do 5 to the second power?
Riley, I'm not sure. So this is a. Would you agree that this is a unhappy exponent?
Yeah.
So I want it to be happy.
Okay.
I want everybody to be happy. Okay, keep it going. So next thing, 0 exponents. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay, ready? Y'all got that down?
I get it.
Okay, ready? So what is x raised to 0 power?
1.
So the answer is 1. Whoop, up. I went back to went 1, 2, 4. There we go. So the answer is 1. Okay? So no, x raised to the 0 becomes 1. So what is Center Grove Trojans all raised to the 0 power? That becomes number
1.
we're number 1, baby.
Let's go.
Here we go.
It's gonna be 1.
So now check this one out. Okay, be careful. That 5 is not raised to the 0. What's raised to the 0? So what's x to the 0? 1. What's 1 times 5? Man, you guys are getting smart.
Do that again.
Yes, let me say it again. Ready? Okay, Lexi, what's x raised to the 0?
1.
What's 1 times 5? Okay, ready? Lexi, what's y to the 0?
1.
And what's 1 times this times this? No.
Look, it says 5 and 2.
Okay, this becomes 1, hun.
Wow.
1 times x squared times z to the 5th becomes x squared times z to the 5th. You don't have to do, those are both happy exponents, you're done.
Wait. We just get rid of it. Or,
What? This one looks complicated?
No.
Okay, I got a question.
I was looking at
Who feels good about this one? Okay, Miguel. Now don't just yell at the answer. Everything is raised to the 0. So what's your final answer, Miguel? 1. The whole thing's raised to 0. And if the whole thing's raised to 0, the whole thing becomes 1. We doing okay?
yeah.
Martin, did you get a notes? Okay, good. All right, keep it going. All right, now, remember we're all about people being happy. Who's unhappy right now? A and C. And what's B to the 0 become? 1. So, yeah, I agree. Who thinks they could give me the final simplified answer? Mr. Sims?
6/1, A1C3.
Whoop, I messed up. Yes, you're right. Now, what Adam said is perfect. Did anybody think of it just like this? 6 over A, C to the 3rd. Both of those.
I didn't think of it like that at all.
I was gonna think of it like that until he said 1.
Okay, he thought 1 because B to the 0 is what? 1 times A times C cubed. But what is 1 times A times C cubed? AC cubed.
Why is it
Why
at
didn't
the
you put the
bottom?
negative? Oh.
Because B to the 0 is in the bottom.
Why didn't you put the 1 with the A?
No, it's just 1 times A times C. The 1's not even needed, but it's there. Both things I circled are correct, or boxed in, whatever you want to call it. Why does 6 not get moved down to the bottom?
Because it's not the exponent.
Because 6 is fine. 6 isn't unhappy. 6 is happy. He's very content being in 9th period Algebra 1 class with Mr. Dice. It's his favorite. It's his. What? Why am I assuming what?
It's gender.
Uh,
It's an it.
Well, up until like a couple of years ago, you would always say his. Now you could say his or her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are women
or
always
they.
I'm not excluding women. I love women.
Yes.
I'm a house full of women. I'm all for women's rights and loving them and equal everything. Okay?
Dramatic.
So,
dramatic?
yeah.
No, what?
Here we go. So, all right. So, all right. Everybody look up on the screen now.
I did it wrong.
Who's unhappy? Z and who else? X. Hold on, I got a question.
Wait, the 7 too.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Somebody tell me why 7's not unhappy. 7's cool.
Because it's just a negative. It doesn't have
Okay,
a
hold on.
exponent.
Macy, because it's a what? It's not an exponent, it's a coefficient. You only move unhappy exponents. Okay? So, what's this going to become then? 2 stays on the top. X squared over negative 7. What comes first in the alphabet? Y or Z?
Y.
So y to the 4th, z to the 7th.
Does it matter what order it's in?
Okay, so would I count off? No, but properly we go in alphabetical order. Is that fair, Riley?
Yeah.
So like if we went to a nice restaurant and there's a bunch of silverware stacked on the table, all you got to do is work from the outside in. Okay? Now, if you didn't do that, that would be proper. If you didn't do it, could you still eat your meal? Absolutely. But if we want to be proper, we write it in alphabetical order.
Okay.
Okay?
Why do you have to go from the right to the left?
I didn't say from right from left. Outside in. Outside in. That's just how it works. That's the proper etiquette.
Like also like why did that happen? Before and then like other.
Okay. Who thinks they could give me this answer 100% confident?
I got this.
Eric says he's got this. I'm not 100% confident Eric has it, but I'm willing to see. Eric?
Is it 1 over x to the 5th? Let's go.
Baller. Because -7 raised to the 0 becomes 1. Move the x to make him happy into the bottom. Cool. All right, everybody good with that one?
Yes.
Okay, now I picked this one up a little bit. Now, can y'all make eye contact? Well, everybody look at the screen real quick. Everything's raised to a what? Negative. A negative. Everybody look at me. Please, make eye contact with me, please. When everything's raised to a negative, do this. Don't change anything inside and just raise it to a positive one. So if you listen to what I just said, go parentheses, make it +1. So in the numerator now is 5y raised to a -3. In the denominator is -2x squared. Now let me restate my statement. Notice how I didn't change anything yet. I flipped this negative. Now look inside. What's not happy? Just the y. Why is the 2 cool? Because it's not an exponent, it's a coefficient. All right, who can give me a final answer then? Owen, would you like to try it?
Sure.
Okay, no worries if you don't get it right.
Okay, so -2x.
Okay, I got a question. Let's go top for -2 is cool, right where he is. -2 is cool. It's not an exponent. So go top, then tell me what's in the bottom.
Yeah, so -2x.
Well, why are you moving the -2?
You're flipping them.
Why? I already did that. I got a positive one now. I already told you this negative is cool. It's not an exponent. The only thing unhappy right now, Owen, is the y. The
So what you're doing is changing the -3 to +3.
That's right.
So 5y to 3 over -2x.
No, you only change what's unhappy. 5 is cool. -2 is cool. X is cool. Y is the only thing that needs to change bunks. 5 over -2 x squared. Y is now happy. That 5, Owen, is not raised to a negative. Only the y is raised to the -3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's okay. We doing okay, guys? I think that's about as hard as it gets today.
Is that as hard as it's gonna get?
You're saying 16's harder?
I don't know. I'm just kind
Okay. What's unhappy?
The negative.
The -3 and the xy, because they're both raised to a what? Raised to a what? Negative. So how do I rewrite it? I put it in the numerator. What's it become in the top then? -3x raised to a happy 1. And what is -3x raised to the 1? -3x.
wouldn't it be over 1?
You could. When you write the number 5, do you write 5 over 1? They're both correct, and you're welcome to do that, but I don't think it's necessary. But if it helps you, Christiana, feel free to do so. Okay? All right, so evaluate each expression when m is -2 and n is equal to 3. Before we evaluate, guys, let's rewrite it with nothing being unhappy. So, Ms. Bullock, what's unhappy right now? Who's unhappy? The n. So how would I rewrite it without anything being unhappy? Ms. Bullock. You don't know? Georgie, can you help her? M's cool, N's not cool. So how would I rewrite it, Georgie? Your lips are moving and nothing came out. You don't know? Crap. I'm not doing a good job. Georgie, N needs to change bunks. Change bunks for N and that's it. Don't ask me a question, tell me. Okay, no, I'm losing you. Guys, is M okay right where it is? Yes. So M cubed. Is N okay right where it is? No. So put it where? In the bottom bunk. Now you can plug in -2 for M. So that now we go -2 in parentheses cubed over what's N? 3 squared. And -2 cubed is -8, and 3 squared is 9. Okay, I'm coming back to you, Ms. Bullock. 10 is happy. M is not, N is not. How do I rewrite it so everybody's happy? So tell me what to write. It's a fraction. Right, Georgie? You being afraid of it because it's a fraction? Fractions are scary. I understand they beat you with fractions in elementary school, apparently. So here we go. -2 to the 1 and 3 cubed. Everybody evaluate that on their own. Go. So 2 to the -2 to the 1 is -2. 3 cubed is 27. -2 times 27 is -54. But 10 and 54 both have a 2 in them. I take out that 2, I get 5 over -27. Next problem. Everybody on their own, go. I'm hitting pause. Everybody on their own. And who's unhappy in the bottom? 5's okay?
Yeah.
So how about M squared over 5? If you wrote a 1M squared, it's the same thing. Would everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're not done yet. We got to plug in what? No, there's no 2. There's a, in parentheses, -2 squared over 5. And what's -2 squared become? Positive or negative? Positive, because we have y, an even amount of negatives, 4/5. You have the worksheet sitting there.